Hi there, in this video we're going to continue arranging this song. I'm going to create a new pattern, add a new melody, and also add a new instrument. Previously we recorded in this lead part. I'm just going to solo that track by right clicking here on track 5. But I'm not sure I really like it anymore, so I'm going to create a new lead part. So for now I'm just going to mute this track by left clicking on this LED. Now it's still there if I do change my mind, but it's muted. So I'm going to create a new pattern. So I'm just going to click on this plus icon up here and call this new lead. Now I'm going to swap to pattern mode by pressing L on my keyboard. As we'll see up the top there, it's gone from song to pattern mode. And now I'm going to open up the channel rack. This time I'm going to use the shortcut F6 or function F6 if you're on a Mac. So I'm just going to click on the plus icon here, and under Synth Classic, I'm going to choose Flex. So just to audition the sounds, I'm going to turn on the piano keyboard by clicking here. I'm not sure about that sound, so I'm just going to try a couple of others. That's not appropriate. That's a bit more like what I'm looking for. One thing I'm going to do though is turn off the reverb, because later on we'll be adding a different reverb in the mixer. Okay, I quite like that. So I'm just going to close this synth. And now I'm going to rename the channel. So I'm going to right click and press R to select rename color and icon. So I'm going to call this one new lead and then leave the name Flex. Sometimes I like to leave the name of the instrument in the name of the channel. And now, while I'm setting this up, I'm just going to link it up with the mixer. First of all, I'm just going to give it a color. So I'm going to make sure this track is selected, which is displayed by this icon here. Go up to the channel options and then go down to color selected. I'm just going to choose a random color this time. Okay, and now to link it to a channel, I'm going to select a channel, then simply press Command and L or Control L on a PC. So now we can see the name and the color have been copied to this insert, and it's linked to insert number 15. I'm just going to close the mixer. Right, now I'm just going to go back to the channel rack, right click, and open up piano roll. I've got an idea of a melody in my head, so I'm going to draw this in. First, I'm going to change the snap amount to half a beat, because I know that's the shortest note that I'd like to use. I'm going to zoom in slightly by holding down Command on a Mac or Control on Windows, and scroll. So, the first note I want is a B. So using the draw tool, I'm simply going to click here. I don't want the note to be anywhere near that long, so I'm going to go over to the right hand side of this note and click and drag it over to the length I desire. Now I'm going to duplicate this note by holding down Shift and clicking and dragging. I'm just going to move it up to a C. Going to duplicate this B again. And once more. Now this note I'd like twice the length, so I'm going to click and drag the right hand side. Now the next note I'd like the same length, so I'm just going to draw it up here. It's copied the length of the last note selected, because that's the way FL Studio works. So if I was to click on this B and draw a new note, it'll be that length. I don't want this though, so I'm just going to delete this note. Now, because I've drawn this in with MIDI, I'd like to adjust the velocity slightly to give it a slightly more human touch. So with the draw tool, I'm just going to change the velocity a little. Okay, now I'm going to play this pattern back. Okay, I like these notes, but I'd like to make them double the speed. So to do so, I'm going to select all of the notes by pressing Command and A. And now you see this icon appears. So if I click and drag that, I can double the speed of the pattern. So now when I play it back, that speed seems more appropriate to me. So I'm just going to deselect all these notes by holding Command on a Mac or Control on Windows and click on a blank space. I'm just going to change melody slightly now. So I'm going to move this B up to a C. And I'm going to draw in an E here. It's always important to make sure your melody fits with the chords that you're using, but I already had this melody written down, so I know it's going to fit with the chords. So just bear that in mind when you're writing a melody. Now I'm just going to stretch this last note out because I want it to ring out a bit. Just going to play it back. Now I'm just going to listen to that in context with the song. So I'm just going to make sure I've got the new lead pattern selected. And I'm going to draw it in at bar 21. I've got the paint tool selected here, so I can just click once. Now I'm just going to play the track back from bar 21. See, when I clicked on the timeline ruler there, it swapped from pattern to song mode. Okay, great, so we're getting there. I'm just going to open up the piano roll, this time just by double clicking on this region. Now I'm going to select all of these notes in the melody by holding Command A. And now I'm going to hold Shift and drag all of these notes over by 2 bars. I'm just going to deselect by pressing Command and D. Now I'm just going to move this E down to a D so the melody has some variation. Now we can see the pattern is twice the length. Let's hear that back. Okay, great. So we've added a new melody part. We're starting to build these ideas into more of a song. In the next lecture, I'm going to continue arranging this song. Thanks for watching.